Now, let us start again. Let me introduce myself. Hello, my name is Chuck Thompson, Director of World Emergency. We manufacture emergency disaster supplies and equipment for earthquakes, fires, floods, and civil unrest. We provide emergency kits for government officials and the general public to prepare for terrorist attacks. We also design portable facilities we manufacture into homes, schools, offices, and hospital emergency units. World Emergency, Inc. has developed a plan called the Watchman Program. Within this nationwide security system, we will set up many emergency disaster command and information centers in every major city throughout the United States. This Watchman Program will also spread internationally, especially to other allied countries. Our emergency portable centers will house many local and federal authorities working together side by side to help deter and stop potential threats of terrorism. World Emergency has just given you a revelation, history in advance. Now, I was born at the Illinois Research Hospital in Chicago, November 22nd, 1963. This was that same fatal day former President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Yearly, I'm reminded of how old I am. Every time I turn on the news on that tragic day in our nation's history, without fail, one or more TV programs will air the infamous Zapruder film showing President Kennedy's motorcade coming down the street, primed, set up, and ready to be slaughtered. This event marked and changed the lives of many Americans and the country forever. This was a wake-up call for how vulnerable and how quick and easy our nation can change forever. Ironically, September 11th was the day that my father, Charles Van Thompson Sr., was born. Well, in 1942. Some 59 years later, on September 11, 2001, another tragic date in our nation's history, received another wake-up call that has and will completely change our lives forever, certainly if you haven't noticed. However, here in America and also in the rest of the world, we act as if there was no change at all, really. We live our lives as if we have all the time in the world. But the clock of our lives has changed forever. America's shift as the world's superpower is almost over. Our time to live in this great nation is rapidly expiring. We have very little time left to enjoy the wonderful blessings God has given us in this nation. Soon, the horrifying, ear-tingling events will suddenly come upon us unexpectedly. As labor pains come upon a woman, America, and sadly many other nations allied and attached to America, simply won't be ready. They will not be prepared. The folly of our inactions will prove to be catastrophic. The lack of vision of our unbelieving nation will be so great. All the blunders of the past combined will not compare with the horrible suffering this country will soon face in the very near future. By refusing to see the prophetic hand writing on the wall, like the blind naiveness we had before the First World War, our nation once again was late coming into the second, foolishly having our rose-colored glasses on too long, Unfortunately, history will repeat itself again, and America will not be prepared for her ultimate demise in the final battle. Our nation pays the death penalty for its self-reliance and the self-imposed ignorance it has inflicted upon itself. As a nation, we are closing our eyes as tight as possible, placing our hands tight over our ears, and making our necks stiff, as God has complained about us since we became a nation. Our stiff-neckedness prevents us from seeing, hearing, and recognizing the third war coming. This unthinkable event will not only shock America off the throne of being the greatest nation on earth, the world's only superpower, it will also knock us to the ground into the dust. The American people will be so dirty and disease-ridden, we won't be recognized as a people. Our country will be ridiculed, laughed, and scoffed at as a fallen people, a beaten nation. At that time, only then, will we soberly reflect back with blood-like tears in our eyes, sorrow and overwhelming in our foolish hearts. The citizens of America will finally recognize and understand what we've lost. The blessings that God has given us to be the greatest nation on the face of the earth. That's right. Yes. America. World War III is coming soon to our homeland, bringing with it an unmerciful, fiery, toxic cloud looming over the heads of most of America, and more than likely to a neighborhood near you. New York, the beautiful Chicago, awesome Los Angeles. This is the future, the soon future of the unthinkable fall of America.